Countdown to kick-off in Paris, where the only change to either team from the first leg is forced upon the French. Eric Abidal's thigh injury left a straight choice between the severe pair of Escudé and Schillaci. They've gone with Julien Escudé, and that means that there'll be no switch of position for William Gallas. It is a concern for France, who've had 7 different partnerships in central defence since their disastrous Euro 2008 campaign, but the rest of the team is unaltered, including Lassana Diarra, the object of Irish derision after that alleged post-match outburst. If Ireland are to achieve the best result in the country's international football history, these are the 11 who, initially at least, have the chance to make themselves legends. Liam Lawrence, whose goal against South Africa projected him into Trapattoni's thoughts, has the chance now to get them there. Robbie Keane and Damien Duff are big game players who could rise to the occasion. It's already an historic night in one respect, with Shay Given and Kevin Kilban equalling Steve Staunton's record, 102 Irish caps. But maybe, just maybe, the real history is still to be made. Karim Benzema may be among the best 30 players in Europe, but he can only make the French bench. It's the same substitute as Saturday for Ireland, when Aidan McGeady, Stephen Hunt and Leon Best were all used. The players then gather and are focused. A big night looms for Raymond Domenech, who was jeered when his picture was put on the big screens here at the end of the announcement of the two teams. There's certainly been a response to the call to arms within the stadium, where 1 or 2 French players feared that a heavy Irish presence would make life a little more uncomfortable for them. But certainly Thierry Henry leading the bid for an entente cordiale in shaking hands across the line after that spat that meant an unseemly end to Saturday's first leg. Lassana Diarra was the man at the very centre of that bust-up. Dreams and ambitions on the line. 90 minutes will decide whether it's France or Ireland who take their ticket for the plane to South Africa. One banner here says, Mandela, expect us. Are the French overconfident? Can the Irish, in their favoured role of underdogs, upset the apple cart? Here come the signs. Well, the Irish fans responded to the plea to go green for the first leg, and certainly Matt Holland, it looks as though the French supporters have responded in kind.
They have indeed. It's a carnival atmosphere inside the stadium. Hopefully that's a premature celebration. It's certainly going to take a monumental effort from the Irish side to overturn this deficit, and history is against them. But who knows? Certainly on Saturday they created 1 or 2 chances, clear-cut chances. If one of those had gone in, it would have been very different. It took a deflected Anelka goal. France were restricted to long-range efforts on Saturday. I think it's more of the same tonight.
Well, they're born optimists, the Irish. They've travelled here with a certain amount of hope and plenty of expectation, relying on the tactical acumen of Giovanni Trapattoni to help this Irish side become the first team in history in the European leg of the playoffs to overturn a first leg deficit. Two anthems sung with great gusto, but which of those anthems will be ringing out in South Africa next year? The next 90, possibly 120 minutes will decide. France against Ireland next.
We're live in Paris at the Stade de France this evening. It is France against the Republic of Ireland in the World Cup playoff second leg, live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1, that is Sky Channel 408. So it is now or never for the Republic. It is must win. Your commentators in Paris, Matt Holland and Rob Hawthorne.
Well, it sounds easy when you say it, but all Ireland need is a win. Then at the very least they would guarantee themselves a penalty shootout. Zinedine Zidane, one of French football's greatest, is here and of course was here on the most famous night in French football, scoring 2 of the goals that won them the World Cup. 11 years later, the Stade de France could be the venue for one of French football's lowest moments. That all depends on the spirit of Ireland. It would unquestionably be the greatest result in the Irish football team's history if they were to win here and if they were to get to the World Cup. It's a Swedish official in charge tonight, 38-year-old Martin Hansen. Giovanni Trapattoni now knows that his destiny is in his players' hands. It's been a long day for the players waiting for this moment. It's a 9 o'clock kick-off here. But so much hinges on what lies ahead. And an early feel of the ball for the French goalkeeper, who wasn't overworked at the weekend but did make that crucial late save from Glenn Whelan. A good goalkeeper, but the change that the French have made in central defence, they've been forced to make because of Abidar's injury, might just be an area of concern for the hosts, because they have been vulnerable sometimes with changing partners from set pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. The ball's gone back to Richard Dunn, he's hit it long. Ball's gone back to John O'Shea, he's hit it long. I think that's an area where the French are vulnerable. It's something that Ireland need to exploit. With the words that were exchanged at the end of Saturday's game have added a bit of extra spice. The French are expecting a physical challenge, and the Irish must deliver it.
Not a night to be pretty. It's all about the end result, no matter how it's achieved. Here's Escudé to Patrice Evra. For the French, there is that dilemma of stick or twist. Do they hold on to what they got in Dublin, thanks to Nicholas Anelka's deflected effort, or do they go on and seek more? There's Whelan looking for Kevin Doyle, and challenged by Escudé. The clearance there by the head of Richard Dunn to Gourcuff, who is regarded as the modern-day Zidane by the French side.
Savon Doyle, once again it was Whelan who got the ball in midfield, hooked it on long, trying to get in behind and cause the French problems in the air.
Escudé's big slip-up in qualifying came with an own goal in the 1-1 draw against Romania. But then each of the defenders they've tried has slipped up at one stage or another in a qualifying campaign that started disastrously against Austria with defeat, and they never really recovered from that. They only drew the 2 games against Romania as well. O'Shea's header. And here's his club colleague Patrice Evra. And back off Thierry Henry. Lawrence didn't keep it in, but it's Ireland's throw anyway.
I think it's important that Ireland keep the ball better than they did on Saturday. They gave it away far too often. If they're going to get any sort of a result, they need to keep the ball better.
French really weren't at their best in the first half of that match, but you could tell their determination from the start of the second half. Here's Lawrence, cleared by Escudé. And now Alou Diarra. Gourcuff, Henry. Here's Lassana Diarra. To Nicolas Anelka. This is Bakary Sagna to Diarra again. The Irish fans will struggle to make their jeers for Diarra heard here tonight, because they haven't been able to take over the stadium in the fashion that they did when the sides were involved in a goalless draw here 5 years ago. Diarra back to Sagna. And here's Patrice Evra. Now Gourcuff. On by Lassana Diarra to his namesake Alou Diarra, but it's Lawrence who nicks it away. Escudé in with a sliding challenge.
I think Damien Duff's an important player tonight. He was very diligent in his defensive work on Saturday. We need to see him more as an attacking threat.
Under Trapattoni, the Irish have become famed for being difficult to beat. That's how he tends to set out his stall, but it's about more than that tonight. It is about winning. And here's Doyle looking to get Ireland on the front foot and inviting Duff into the game for the first time, looking for Keane. And Evra sweeping up, but that's not the best clearance. Andrews in to try and keep the pressure on. Dunn doing likewise, picking out Liam Lawrence. And here's Dunn again. Now Sean St Ledger to Damien Duff. Now Andrews. Duff's gone down there, and the man who caught him was the man at the centre of the storm at the weekend, Lassana Diarra.
It's good play from Ireland though, kept possession well. Damien Duff said he needs to be in the game, needs to be taking Bakary Sagna on, getting to the byline, getting crosses in.
Richard Dunn will be a target for free kicks, so too John O'Shea. Kevin Cabana normally stays back, this time as Duff sweeps it in. Dunn couldn't direct his header as he wanted. Whelan underneath it. And Escudé and Evra did get in each other's way then. Here's Liam Lawrence. Now O'Shea. Looking for Keane with a cross, which forces him a bit wide, and he can't keep it in anyway.
It's poor from John O'Shea. Keane points him where he wants it, towards goal. Liam Lawrence had an opportunity with his left foot to put the ball in. That was the earlier chance from Damien Duff's cross, and Robbie Keane almost on the end of it. It's a good start from Ireland, weathering an early storm and a decent amount of possession.
An extra concern here for the French with an injury problem that's been picked up by Escudé. This coming together with his own teammate Patrice Evra. He's got an elbow in the face there.
Yeah, he did that. I said earlier that that's an area, I think, aerially, that Ireland can get at France. There's problems at the heart of that French defence on Saturday. Gallas and Abidal. Actually, it's a shame that Abidal was injured, because I thought he was the weak link on Saturday.
Got a bloodied nose from his own teammate. We often look at those incidents and ask, was it deliberate, was it not deliberate? And of course this time it's his own colleague, anything but deliberate. Evra caught him on the side of the nose. Escudé, his club colleague from Sevilla, Escudé as his partner Schillaci waiting in reserve. They'll hope to stem the bleeding and get him straight back out there. President here, Mr. Sarkozy. Touch back by Gourcuff. Alou Diarra just covering at the back at the moment in the absence of Escudé. They do look a little bit nervous there at the moment.
Poor pass back from Diarra. Put Lloris under real pressure. All he could do was clear it for Irish throwing, but good pressure from Ireland.
They need to try and turn the screw and make the most of the fact that the French are a a man light, and there is a weakness there to be exploited as things stand. Here's Sanya. In came Kilban, but a bit heavy from him. Taking a little longer than expected to sort this problem out, which makes you wonder if they might be tempted to throw Schillaci on, but it's very early in the game for Dominic to think about using one of his substitutes. Which is why he may have decided to make the change, though. Such a big game for the French manager. It may be his last in charge if they do miss out, having earned this advantage in Dublin. He has to be pretty bold and decisive. It's been an edgy beginning, this, by the hosts.
They can be nervy at home, France, and the crowd can become restless and get on the players' backs and keep them quiet as long as possible.
Down with the throw, looking for Doyle. Sanya, though, met it. It's away in the end by Nicolas Anelka. Well, they're not going to wait any longer for Escudé, and Sebastian Schillaci is at the sidelines and he's ready to come on. It was a fairly close call anyway between the defenders, but Dominic made the decision he did because it would have meant an adjustment for William Gallas, who will now have to go to the left side of central defence, which isn't his preferred position. It's a sorry end to the evening for Escudé so soon. Not a good start for the French. Can Ireland exploit that? They've earned for themselves their first corner, and this may be a route to the dreamland for them.
Absolutely. Saturday's set pieces were key and they didn't quite deliver. I think they were quite good enough. Hopefully tonight they'll have better delivery.
Tough responsible for that. It's away from Dunn. He couldn't get close enough to it. And Gignac hoping that the possibility of a break is on here, but Liam Lawrence. Detailed well defensive. That's a lovely touch from Gorkov to get away from Whelan. Fed it just a little behind Anelka. This is Henry. Well, there is the danger for Ireland from the break.
You said it, Rob. France attacking with real purpose and verve. Starting with Gignac. Gets a little lucky with the challenge from Lawrence. And this touch from Gorkov. Brilliant. Actual pass isn't great to Anelka. The first time pass to Henry. Good block by St. Ledger.
Here's Lassana Diarra. Now Gourcuff. This is Ebra looking to carry it past Lawrence. And the French have just about started to find their feet. Our throw was it by Ebra?
I think it was handball. I think he picked the ball up before the ball had even gone out of play.
Certainly was, and Shay Gibbon has come out to take the free kick. There is no doubt about it, as we've just seen a demonstration from the French, and if you look at the team and the clubs that they play for, then technically the French should be ahead in every department, but what Ireland have to hope here is what the French lack in application they can make up for with their own spirit.
That's the key to Ireland's success, and has been over the years. The effort and application they put into the game, that can never be faulted. It's important they produce that sort of performance tonight.
Like Evra from the English Premier League Big Four, regulars in the French side, but only John O'Shea from the English Premier League's Big Four in this Irish outfit. There's Diarra. He's played for a couple of the Big Four, Arsenal and Chelsea. His former Arsenal manager, Arsene Wenger, is here tonight. This is O'Shea, looking for Keane, who was right on the shoulder of Schillaci.
Excellent by the goalkeeper, Lloris. He impressed me on Saturday. He's impressed me in his Champions League performances for Lyon. He's quick off his line. Read that situation well.
Very young goalkeeper, Lloris. He's still only 23, but a player of great promise, who they feel here could be the fixture international #1 for many, many years to come. Only his 8th cap tonight. Evra's throwing. Away by O'Shea, and then a real wayward one from Keith Andrews that gives France an unexpected corner.
And no challenge from Henry. Andrews just gets it all wrong. Opportunity for the French to send the likes of Gallas up. Scored so many goals from set pieces for Arsenal.
Scalacci, who's only just come on, could be an interesting one from this as well if Thierry Henry can find him. And clear by Andrews straight to Lassana Diarra, who gets a second bite at it but can't keep his effort down.
He's not renowned for his goal-scoring prowess, Lassana Diarra. That tells you why. First one a miss hit, the second one not much better. Gets it horribly wrong.
Hasn't scored yet for France, Diarra. And that would probably really be the ultimate insult for Ireland if he was to score against them after what went on at the weekend, although you shouldn't really expect too much of a carryover from that.
I don't think so. I think, having said that, the ball's 50-50 between Keith Andrews and Lassana Diarra. Expect an explosion.
Well, there the two of them are in combat. Diarra, though, finds Anelka. Here's Sanya with the throw. Here's Alou Diarra. Gourcuff. Henry was fouled by O'Shea.
See that Thierry Henry's got the shirt of John O'Shea. That's what John O'Shea was saying to the referee. Thierry Henry, expect him to produce a big game. He was quiet on Saturday.
O'Shea given anticipating he may have some work to do here against Thierry Henry. Rolled into the path of Anelka, and it falls to Gignac. It's another deflection. Kilban this time, and a corner.
It wasn't a great free kick from France. Ireland did well, blocked it quickly. Falls to Gignac. Just hope that deflection goes the wrong side of the post. This time it did.
Well, from one side came to nothing. What can Thierry Henry do from the other side here for France? Pulled it back to Lassana Diarra. Now Gourcuff. Back out to Diarra. And here's Evra. And Sanya, the two to stay back.
It's important that Ireland keep Anelka quiet. I thought he was excellent in the first leg. He was the one French player that wanted the ball all the time. He took the game to Ireland, so try and keep him as quiet as well as possible in this game.
There's been much talk in the build-up about the advantage of an early goal, but an early goal hasn't necessarily always been the best thing for Ireland. Plenty of times in qualifying when they have scored in the opening quarter of an hour and then haven't won the match. It's not a question today of being too gung-ho. A bit of patience is going to be required.
I think so. I don't think Trapattoni's thoughts will have changed from Saturday. I think he was desperate for a clean sheet. Didn't quite materialise. Tonight won't be a different setup from him. He'll be looking to try and keep it goalless for as long as possible. And then as the game wears on, he's got the likes of McGeady and Hunt. Maybe Darren Gibson in central midfield to try and make a difference.
Another bloodied French defender. Already lost one in Escudé, but that should be easier to sort out for Bakary Sagna. Lassana Diarra, Duff finding Doyle. Irish throw. Sagna is now back on.
Good to see there from Ireland's point of view. Glenn Whelan bursting from midfield into the box, try and make that extra man. Far too often the two central midfielders for Ireland sit too deep. Neither of them get forward enough.
Duff clipping it across. Gallas had to head that one away. Keane was just in behind. Duff again with a cross. Lawrence looking to get underneath it. Good header away though by Evra. Henry, the deflection off Whelan.
Excellent ball in by Damien Duff. You just think that Liam Lawrence might win that ahead of Evra. It's a terrific defensive clearance from the Man United left-back.
Here's Keane. Diarra and Lassana Diarra stopping him from getting clear. Malka challenging with Kilban, and it came off Damien Duff in the end.
This is the scene of probably Kevin Kilban's greatest performance in an Ireland shirt. 2004, he played centre midfield and was superb. Hopefully he can reproduce that on the night that he joins Steve Staunton and Shay Given at the top of the appearance list.
Here's Kevin Doyle to try and resist the challenges of Sebastian Schillaci.
Schillaci does well. Shepherd's Doyle into the corner.
Waited a long time to get even one man on 100 caps, and it's a record tonight to have 3 men who've all made a record number of appearances for their country, possibly with the only time it happens, with Staunton, Given and Kilban on that number of 102. Thierry Henry tonight becomes the second most capped French player, moving ahead of Marcel Desailly.
Seems to be too much in that challenge. Shea got tight, which he has to do to Thierry Henry, but he has to be careful. He's given away a couple of dangerous free kicks.
Showing interest in this. And we also have an eye on Schillaci and Alou Diarra, who are waiting in attendance. Schillaci got his head to it, but he couldn't keep it down.
Good ball in by Henry. Schillaci got far too much on the header. I think 20 minutes into the game, Trapattoni will be delighted with the way things have gone. Certainly had a lot more possession than on Saturday. A bit more territorial advantage as well. France rarely threatened the Irish goal in a good 20 minutes.
There's O'Shea looking for Robbie Keane. An important header away, that by William Gallas to Lawrence. And now Glenn Whelan, connected by Gourcuff. And this is Evra. Aiming one for Gignac, to cushion a ball back to Gourcuff, but it's Whelan who collects. Now Doyle, away from Liam Lawrence. Just remind you of the possible scenario if the French were to lose 1-0 in 90 minutes, we'd have extra time, and if it stayed that way after extra time, then we'd have penalties. But the away goal scenario would come into play after 90 minutes. Andrews setting Kevin Doyle away. Keane makes a break for the middle. Andrews is in there too, and it's Liam Lawrence, and he tries to clip it across, and you wonder if then he might have been better having a go himself.
I think so. It was good initially in midfield from Ireland. They won the 50-50 challenge. When that ball fell at Lawrence's feet, I just think have a shot. He's got such a tremendous strike from that range. Scored on his debut against South Africa. Just go for goal. Be the hero.
This was a free kick that really lodged him in Trapattoni's thoughts, and it was a fairly selfless act then to try and lay it on for someone else, but he might have had the best opportunity himself. Here's Thierry Henry. Malka unable to connect, and it gets away from him. Corban is making his 60th consecutive start in a competitive international. It's a fantastic record, a world record as well. And it all started in a playoff match against Turkey some 10 years ago. But Ireland have never won a playoff against European opposition. Keane saying he felt a challenge in his back, but the decision goes against him. Here's Sanya. Now Lassana Diarra. It's well won by Whelan. Keane was furthest forward for Ireland. But Diarra robs him and finds Bakary Sanya. And Sanya venturing forward, which has been a bit of a rarity really for him. Away by Duff. Doyle with a header back for Lawrence. Did well to keep that with Henry sliding in. It's a good ball picked out by Andrews for Robbie Keane. Pull back for Doyle, or Duff it is who takes over. It's Duff with a cross that Scalacci can clear, but straight to Doyle. Will it land here for Lawrence? He won the header. Keane looking to get in here, and brave goalkeeping by Lawrence to come straight out and dive at his feet. Now Lawrence. Andrews. Too long this time.
That was brilliant by Lloris, the French goalkeeper. He said he comes off his line ever so quickly. He's done it again. He did it on Saturday to deny Robbie Keane and Glenn Whelan. And tonight, he's done it again. Really brave goalkeeping. Robbie Keane's boot flying. Excellent by Lloris.
No malice intended by Robbie Keane, and that was a fact acknowledged straight away by the goalkeeper in the handshake after it. But he's shown really with those two saves in the two legs, one from Whelan and one from Robbie Keane, that he certainly doesn't want for bravery. Here's Evra. Should have been knocked over by Doyle, but the advantage played. Evra. Doyle forward, so too is Gignac, and it's behind he and Henry. Sanya is the one who will have to rescue it here for France, which he does. It's Gibbons' ball.
Well played by Shay Given. Felt for a moment that Richard Dunn was going to go for it. Didn't, but good numbers. Irish defenders back.
Doyle has held that on. Keane looks to get in again here. Scalacci did well to hold him up. Lawrence with a cross. Doyle with a header. Just couldn't plant a decent enough head on the end of it.
It's great play by Ireland. Lawrence's ball is brilliant. Doyle gets across William Gallas, and you expect that ball to be on target. Normally so good in the air, Kevin Doyle. Hit the target, and he probably scores. He's saying he's being held, but really, he's got to score.
Well, the French supporters are rallying just at a time where their team are facing the greatest threat. It's twice now that Ireland have gone close. Lloris denying Keane with a brave stop at his feet, and Doyle really would have hoped to have done better with a header.
It's a really good spell from Ireland, this. It's got to keep the pressure on France as much as they can. French crowd becoming a little restless again. Ireland dominating proceedings in this last 10 minutes. Said Trapattoni will be pleased with the first 20. And this next 6 or 7 has been even better from Ireland.
Majority of the games in the qualifying group from Ireland were drawn. But even though France lost a game and Ireland didn't, the French still managed to accrue more points in qualifying than Ireland did. It's all about targets tonight, and the Irish know they have to win. And the longer the game goes on like this, with the French feeling maybe a little bit edgy, the more bold Ireland can become. When The Irish want to be hearing about hard luck stories. The opportunities there to be seized, and for the likes of Robbie Keane, they don't know how many more cracks, if any, they'll get at being at the World Cup finals. Irish captain there, just letting Schillaci know he was around. There's Kevin Kilban, who is almost certainly facing the possibility of this being his last chance to qualify for another World Cup in his case. Against Robbie Keane. He's 29 years of age now. Marco Tardelli, who has been at the ultimate stage and scored in a World Cup final. Nicolas Anelka has never been at a World Cup. He's been omitted from 3 consecutive French squads, which is amazing.
Well, he is such a terrific player, Nicolas Anelka. Some of the individual talent that France have got. Just expect them to be playing better than they are. They're very poor in this first half, and that just about sums it up. Gignac letting the ball go under his foot.
Well, he's a favourite of the coach Gignac, but it is amazing, isn't it, when you've got a £30 million Real Madrid man carrying Benzema on the bench. Whelan has got forward here ahead of Damien Duff, who's in possession. Ball now the furthest forward for Ireland. If Duff can shrug off Bakary Sagna, he's short of support on that side. So a nervous clearance from Schillaci, which Sagna saves from being a corner. And here's Henry. He started to roam a little bit.
I just felt when Damien Duff went down the left-hand side there, Kevin Kilban was 30-40 yards behind him. He was looking for support, it didn't come. Kevin Kilban needed to be further up the field. Because when the ball came out to Thierry Henry, he was in acres of space. He needed to be tighter and helping Damien Duff on that left-hand side in a more advanced position.
Half an hour has gone, and it has not gone badly for Ireland. Still to get that important breakthrough goal. But they've been knocking at the door, and here's Robbie Keane. Duff looking to locate Lawrence with a cross. It's Alou Diarra who gets his head to it this time for France, who are very much on the back foot.
Cross is Ireland's biggest threat. Obviously decided that in the build-up to this game. Every time they get the opportunity, it comes in.
Another one there, but it clears Keane and is away by Sagna. And here's Damien Duff trying to test the French from the other side. Now Kilban. Andrews. Sebastian Schillaci away. Break down between Lassana Diarra and Thierry Henry. Henry, who is the main voice, it seems, in the dressing room, trying to keep spirits up. And Marco Tardelli just raced from the dugout to try and get the ball back in position for the throw-in, feeling the French might take the opportunity to waste a bit of time already. Straight forward from Dunn. Now up against Keane.
That's twice in a couple of minutes that Robbie Keane's been caught offside. Really got to look across the line.
Robbie Keane is his country's record goal scorer, as is this man Thierry Henry for France. Henry looking for Anelka. That was a really vital defensive interception from John O'Shea. Andrews. O'Shea again. That's Evra's header, which is loose. Lawrence. Now Whelan. Diarra coming in to close down the space. Andrews. Duff has been calling for it for a while and now gets it. And this time Kilban is forward in support to his left. Kilban angles it back through for Duff. Now can he keep it in and pull it across? He has! Keane! They've done it! Game on! 1-0 Ireland! It's the equaliser on aggregate! It's the breakthrough they craved!
Well, there's no doubt, Rob, that they deserved it. They've been excellent for half an hour. They've been knocking on the door. Kevin Dorn had a great opportunity, but it's that man, Robbie Keane. Brilliant play down the left-hand side. between Kevin Kilban and Damien Duff. We said that Damien Duff needed to get at Sagna, get to the byline. Great 1-2, fantastic ball by Kilban. Duff pulls it back, and Robbie Keane says thank you very much. What a fantastic half an hour this has been. And that is the icing on the cake.
Ireland's captain and record goalscorer comes up with the goods again. The record equalling Shay Given amongst those to celebrate. And now we'll find out what the French are made of.
You can almost hear a pin drop here, except for the however many thousand of green and white fans away to our right. It's a real test for France now.
Well, they reckon there were 8,500 officially, and plenty more little pockets around the stadium. But Giovanni Trapattoni keeping his cool. He'll be as nervous as anybody. But they have got what they came here for. They've given themselves a fighting chance.
They've been the better side, there's no question. France have been ponderous, have shown no real urgency. Just felt that they were going to sit on this one-goal lead.
Sagna with a cross, and now the defence has to do its job. Too many occasions in the past they've got a little carried away when they've established a lead. Here's Gourcuff trying to put the pressure back on Ireland.
Shay Given will be delighted if Gourcuff's going to shoot from 35 yards. Shocking effort. This is the goal again. Great 1-2. Damien Duff to the byline. Perfect ball back. You wouldn't want anybody else 10 yards from goal than Robbie Keane.
It is Robbie Keane's 41st international goal. And they really would be in dreamland now, Ireland, if they could get a second. Looking for Lawrence. Here's Whelan. Now John O'Shea. Andrews. Doyle lost his footing. The idea was right to try and find Liam Lawrence. Kilban, who had his part to play in that goal. Ball out by Robbie Keane, who is the scorer of the goal. And a reminder of the Premier League action we've got to come this Saturday. It's Liverpool against Manchester City. It's live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1 this Saturday, coverage beginning at noon. Shay Given's Manchester City in action then, and Shay Given and Ireland are smiling at the moment because things have tipped their way, and they deserve to. It's rough justice really on Lloris, who's done well for the French, but in front of him it's been a very nervous display, and Ireland have made that count. That was the worry, whether they'd be able to get the goal. They have now. They've got a block from which to build.
It's how they react now to going that goal ahead. Do they sit back on it? Do they take it? Do they try and score a second? All those questions have been running through Trapattoni's mind for his half-time team talk.
A quiet 10 minutes to half-time would be high on his wish list at the moment, but you would not expect that that was about to happen. French supporters are shaken up, but what about the players? How ruffled have they been by that Robbie Keane goal? Alou Diarra, Sagna, Diarra again, now Gourcuff, who is a real danger. He is the man who makes things happen. Alou Diarra to Lassana Diarra, and now the jeers of the Irish fans can be heard because the French supporters have been silenced by that Robbie Keane goal. Might have something to celebrate here. Gourcuff's effort Sprang back off St Ledger, deflected back by Damien Duff.
Better strike this from Gourcuff. Once again, good defending from Ireland. Great touch from Thierry Henry in that build-up. The ball came into him, flicked it round the corner to Gourcuff. That's the danger. Such talented players. Any moment they can produce a bit of magic to get their side back into the game.
Talented players on the bench too in Benzema.
I'm really surprised that he hasn't featured so far in this two-legged playoff. I think Gignac has been rather disappointing in that lead role up front. I think he could make a difference, Benzema.
A robust physical presence, Gignac, which maybe is what Dominic felt he had to have to combat the opposing Richard Dunn. But so far, it has reaped nothing for France, and they may have to reconsider. But here's Sagna making some headway. Anelka! No deflection to take it on target this time. It took it away from the target, but it is a corner.
That's what I was saying about that bit of magic from one of the big players. Sagna, great bit of skill on the right-hand side, past Damien Duff. He pulls it back to Anelka. He skips, has the shot. Again, another important block in that Irish defence.
Rocked by conceding that goal, what will the French response be? It's Henry's corner, and it's cleared by St Ledger. Evra. Lassana Diarra. Sagna. Here's Gallas. Schillaci. Ali Diarra trying to turn away from Andrews, but well in Liam Lawrence. Lassana Diarra. Here's Sagna. And now Anelka. And to take on Kilban and Duff. And it came back to Gignac, and again his touch lets him down. You can just feel the frustration of the French supporters towards the striker at the moment. He's having a really rough ride.
It's a great chance for him as well. Great play by Anelka on the right-hand side. And the ball falls to Gignac. Just needs to get the ball out of his feet. Shot at goal. Gets it horribly wrong again. And a real disappointment over a game and a half.
French supporters sense that. The feeling that they would like to see the change already, and Benzema come on. Dominic for now, though, sticking to his guns. Anelka showed too much of that to Richard Dunn, his one-time Manchester City colleague. And here's Lassana Diarra. Now Evra. To Henry. There's a tight spot for Henry, who fully expected the throw-in. Turns round to see that the decision goes the other way.
I don't know what he was claiming for. Trapattoni knows.
I call Trapattoni the wily old fox, but I think Henry was trying a bit of cunning then. Doyle. Andrews caught by the other Diarra, Alou Diarra.
Just a clip of the heels. As you said, it's important now. Try and get into half-time. That lead intact. France have responded somewhat since going a goal behind and had their best spell of the game. Into half-time. This scoreline still the same.
Kilban and St Ledger organising things for the free kick. It's Kilban who takes it. Dunn going in to let the goalkeeper know he's around, but as we've seen already, is a brave customer.
Excellent goalkeeping again. great handling, brave. He's been the one French player to stand up and be counted tonight.
Here's Lassana Diarra. Away by St Ledger. Question then of clearing the lines. Safety first at the moment for Ireland as half-time approaches. Evra. It's Kilban. Now Gallas. Up goes Richard Dunn with the header, and here's Alou Diarra. Diarra turned into trouble then with Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane's just tireless, running and chasing, scored the goal, been brilliant this first half, led from the front, and a real captain's performance.
And here's one of the members of the Irish team who knows what it's like to perform at the World Cup. He was Ireland's top scorer at that last World Cup finals for which they qualified back in 2002. And he scored a goal here that has set them potentially on the path to qualifying again. Here's Sanya with a cross, away by Richard Dunn. Schillaci, now Alou Diarra. Here's Anelka. For Gignac, but he's been well marshalled by St Ledger.
The French have put 2 balls into the box in that passage of play. On both occasions, France have only got 2 players for Ireland to mark. Delighted with that. Just Gignac and Henry it was. France needing a goal, you expect them to push forward. Just 2 men in the box. It's not enough from their point of view.
Here's Sanya. Away by Richard Dunn. There'll be 2 added minutes in the first half. 2 more minutes that if Ireland can see out safely, they'll consider a first half with a job very well done. Here's Anelka. Good fortune of a deflection in Dublin, not this time though.
Once again, Ireland restricting France to long-range efforts. The story on Saturday, it's been a story this first half. Long may that continue.
Free kick for Ireland, which is another area from which they consider themselves the stronger.
Silly challenge by Gallas. He knows the threat that Doyle poses. Just tried to bump him out the way, right underneath the referee's nose.
Before half-time, and it really would be fantasy land for the Irish supporters behind the goal of Hugo Lloris. Andrews and Lawrence all in attendance over the free kick, as the French just organise themselves. Struck a couple of pretty impressive goals already in qualifying, seems the favourite here. It is Whelan who hits it. And kicks up off the back of a French player for a corner.
He has his head on his hands, and every reason. He hits it brilliantly. Great defending from Evra. As you said, he scored a couple of really important goals in this qualifying campaign against Georgia. Remember that one against Italy?
Which came from a corner, actually pulled back to him. This time looks in the middle, and it's cleared by Gallas. And there is Glenn Whelan, not with the possibility to shoot this time, but he picks out Duff with a great ball. No one there for Ireland this time. And the half-time whistle has gone, and what a first half for Ireland. They've cancelled out the advantage of France's away goal in Dublin. Robbie Keane has got one for them here in the 33rd minute, and well deserved it is too. The half-time score, France 0, Ireland 1. Well, the goal that's already been scored for Giovanni Trapattoni's team by Robbie Keane is the first goal that Ireland have managed against France since they beat them last. Michael Robinson's goal in that 3-2 victory in Dublin 28 years ago. Thierry Henry, who is the influential voice in the dressing room, some might say that perhaps at half-time has been the most crucial team talk of his career. Did Dominic have anything to say? Maybe we will find out subsequently. We will also find out in the next 45 minutes if the French are to be showered with garlands or showered with garlic. He will walk a lone path back, Dominic, if they do go out here tonight. Big 45 minutes ahead for Ireland, but a big 45 minutes ahead for the nation of France too, because while the 4.2 million of the Emerald Isle are delighted with a half-time score, France are carrying the weight of expectation of a population of some 62 million, and they will not want to let them down. Diarra. Andrews in for the challenge. Won by Duff, who flickered into life brilliantly for the Ireland goal scored by this man, Robbie Keane. Clipped there by Lassana Diarra, and maybe Ireland will consider it justice eventually done if they produce something from this.
A little clip on the heels for Robbie Keane. I think if Giovanni Trapattoni had set out a template for the perfect first half in this second leg, it would have been exactly as it went. It was brilliant from Ireland. Robbie Keane's goal, the icing on the cake. Great if they can add to it.
And this is just the situation they have mapped out in their minds from which they could produce something. As Lawrence sweeps in a free kick and a man was left spare at the back, John O'Shea.
It's unbelievable defending from France. Great ball in by Lawrence. O'Shea's got so much time. Brings it down on his chest, just can't get over the ball. He's got to do better. He's got to hit the target and make Lloris make a save. Great chance. Gallas showing his disgust. So too Trapattoni. Great opportunity for John O'Shea and Ireland to make it two.
Keane putting the pressure on here as Schillaci and Lloris have played it between them. We saw from Gallas's reaction that it's a fairly discordant French camp at the moment. The harmony isn't there. And the start that Ireland have made here will only intensify the pressure on Raymond Dominic.
It's important the second half doesn't take the same pattern as Saturday, where Ireland are completely dominated by France in terms of possession. Of course, France scored that goal. Really need to do exactly the same as they did in the first half.
No advantage should be gained now for France from Nicolas Anelka's goal in Dublin. It's been cancelled out by Robbie Keane. Here's Kilban. Just escapes from Kevin Doyle. Just to put you in the picture, if it stayed this way at 90 minutes, we would have extra time before penalties. But if Ireland were to score again, then they really would be in pole position to go through in 90 minutes on the away goals rule. And they may have been presented with an opportunity to build something here as it was given away to Keane. Looks to get it back from Whelan. Dunn clears the lines. Now Doyle, Duff, the French sitting deep, looking to try and contain Ireland here. Doyle, Lawrence making a move into the area, trying to pull it back for Keane. Here's Gourcuff. He remains a lurking threat really to Ireland, Johan Gourcuff. Involved again there with the header forward, looking for Gignac, who was manoeuvred out of the way by St Ledger. Cleared by Dunn. Keane was retreating from an offside position. Doyle was onside. Handled well by Sebastian Schillaci.
You mentioned Gourcuff. He really has been on the fringes of this game. He's got so much talent and he threatens to do something special, but he hasn't delivered. And if France are to get back in this game, they need someone like him to take the game by the scruff of the neck, much the same as this man, Anelka, did in the first game.
Who's got a bit more central in this second half. determination etched on Richard Dunn's face. Lawrence. Alou Diarra. Now Gourcuff. It's a good pass done, but Sean O'Shea was covering. And Ireland get the throw.
As you said, Amelka has gone more central. Maybe swapping over with Gignac. I think the three of them, Amelka, Henry and Gignac, really need to rotate their positions to try and frustrate Ireland and make it difficult for them to pick them up.
More change in the air for France, who are forced into an early substitution. About to voluntarily make another one. Pulled across by Keane. Doyle lost his footing, but Lawrence arrived, and that was a good defensive interception by Patrice Evra. And the danger here from Ireland is that they could spring clear here. It's Gignac, Gourcuff ahead of him, and it's wasted.
It was brilliant from Evra initially with the block, when the ball falls to Gignac. Look at the white shirts getting back. This is Lawrence. Evra seemed unaware of him arriving. Last-ditch tackle, an important one. Gignac cut a frustrated figure. And how long will it be before he's replaced?
We'll go over amongst the substitutes, so too Florent Malouda, who seemed the most likely to be about to come on. But I had to imagine that substitution might have its doubters, because I think the French crowd would like to see Benzema on. Here's Gourcuff. Ball in by Henry, and Elka looking to make headway. Whelan away. Doyle trying to show his strength there against Bakary Sagna, and he has done. He's emerged victorious from that challenge, but the ball to Duff did him few favours. In comes Kilban. Back by Doyle to Kevin Kilban. Doyle, who certainly gives it every ounce of effort, taken in recent games to substituting him late on in the second half. There might have to be a different plan tonight, with the possibility of extra time, which is very much on the agenda at the moment.
That was a strange substitution on Saturday. And tonight Kevin Doyle has been superb in that partnership with his captain Robbie Keane. He's led the line superbly, shows real persistence, never gives up.
Tony is animated as ever, but for the likes of former French internationals like Barthez and Zidane in the stand, an anxious night. Giovanni Trapattoni, he loves it, doesn't he? He's in danger, actually, of being throttled by his own accreditation. He's so animated down there, and the badge around his neck is getting tighter and tighter.
Just an incident here between Gignac and Kevin Kilban. Gignac throwing Kilban to the floor. Not sure why he's talking to Kevin Kilban so much. Gignac's just threw Kilban to the floor.
Very blatant from André-Pierre Gignac, who has not had the best of nights for France so far, and really needs to do something here to win over the doubters, of whom there are plenty. Elka, the man who made things happen in Dublin. And beyond the hour marker then, it was 18 minutes from the end when France got their goal in that match. I'll just be hoping that Ireland run out of steam. Here's Alou Diarra. Patrice Evra. Runs straight into Whelan, but then retrieves it for Anelka, who tries his luck from distance. Straight at Gibbon.
Good play by Evra. Anelka makes the space in the middle of the field. It's a decent strike. That's never going to trouble Shea Given from that distance.
Well, Anelka scored at the weekend was the 6th he's managed, past Shea Given, the other 5 for Arsenal, including one in the FA Cup final of 1998. It's a foul by A넬ka, pushing the back of Kevin Kilban.
The referee has had a very good evening. There's always the worry that when playing away from home, that the referee can make some strange decisions. I think he's got all the big decisions right. He's been on the spot. He's had a very good game.
I think they'll be a little wary of John O'Shea this time, and sure enough, Alou Diarra's gone across to watch him. As Lawrence lines up the kick, which is met by Gallas. Now Gignac. Given away to Whelan. Pressure was put on, done by that pass.
Gignac's having one of those nights. Whatever he tries, it just doesn't happen for him.
Sidney Govou is getting ready to come on here for France. Here's Keane. Keane falling in a heap, but the referees allowed play to continue despite the Irish captain's protests. Now A넬ka. Sagna. A넬ka again as the pressure builds here. Gignac looking to turn on it. It's well blocked by Shaunson Ledger. Scarachi playing that against Doyle and getting away with it.
Once again, really good defending by Ireland. There's been a last-ditch tackle to be made. Invariably, it's been Shaunson Ledger. There's no surprise that it's Gignac making way.
Gignac's night of torment ends. Toulouse player being replaced by Lyon's Sidney Govou, who lost the captaincy of his club side this season, but he did score in his last match for them, that remarkable 5-5 draw against Marseille. Govou has scored 10 goals in his international career for France, already looking for a free kick there out of Kevin Kilban, but again the referee stayed strong despite the home protests and didn't award it.
The ball looked out of play initially from Govou when he picked it up on the right-hand side. A challenge from A넬ka trying to get back on Glenn Whelan. The referee, like I said, he's been strong, not given in to the French crowd, not been affected by it.
Ball aimed towards Doyle, Gallas climbing above him though. Kilban sticking his head in, but Govou won it. Gourcuff on to A넬ka. French hopes rising here as the pressure mounts. A넬ka, he shrugged off Dunn. Blocked by Whelan. A넬ka again, he just lost his footing at the vital moment, and it's away by Richard Dunn.
He did, but he poses a real threat, A넬ka. When that ball comes in, there was cries from the crowd of handball. You see clearly it hits Glenn Whelan in the midriff.
Well, the crowd focusing all their efforts now on trying to influence the referee on these marginal decisions. Raymond Domenech, who's been the object of ire from the crowd, happy that the fire may be on somebody else for the moment. The man in the middle. Here's Gourcuff. Struggling to get away from Kevin Kilban. He does get the decision this time, and Kilban gets a card.
He just got caught, Kevin Kilban. The ball bounced over his head. And then trying to get back at Gourcuff. Catches his ankle. Can't have too many complaints. The crowd are really rallying behind this French side. It's been their best spell of the game. Ireland really need to ride out the storm.
Well, the flag waving at the Stade de France has started again. The atmosphere lifted for the first time really since The shock setback of that Robbie Keane goal. Now the French captain looking to produce something to cancel out the efforts of the Irish skipper. Henry's kick, dealt with by Lawrence. Here's Gourcuff. Came back awkwardly off done, it's forgiven to deal with, and he has done.
Superb by Ireland again. Great defensive work. Lawrence initially, first cross. Then Dunn. Then given. Brilliant at the back from Ireland.
And the wastefulness from free kicks will be disappointing to the home side. But Ireland, it was a job well done for them in the first half, and they're holding their own still.
Patrice Evra's becoming a bigger influence on the game. Two fullbacks from France are trying to get further forward. On that occasion, Sanya's gone too far forward, and the pass from Diarra goes behind him. But I think from France's point of view, they really need to try and push the fullbacks on.
An hour gone and no real encouragement yet for the French. Ireland giving them nothing to feel encouraged about. There's St Ledger with a header. Now John O'Shea, Lawrence. Tricky one for Whelan. Here's Lassana Diarra. It's a stumble. Robbie Keane nicked it away from him and got caught and has stayed down. But the chance is on here for Damien Duff. It's saved by Lloris. How crucial could that save be for the French?
Lloris again to the rescue.
And Dunn has left that one, and Henry could be in here. And this time it's Given who has to come to the rescue. Chances at both ends.
This is the France chance. Richard Dunn leaves it. Henry with a touch, and almost brilliant from Given and O'Shea. This chance came from Robbie Keane's persistence. And wow, Lloris, he comes to the rescue. Sanya as well. Good last-ditch tackle from him. That could have been game over.
It's Gourcuff with a corner after the referee has sorted out one or two issues in the box. Talking to for O'Shea and for St Ledger. And Gourcuff lifts in his kick, for which Schillaci climbs, and Elka's up there. And St Ledger got it away. There's Sanya to Evra. Ireland coming out as quickly as they can. Glenn Whelan, good defending.
Just superb work rate again from Ireland. They clear the ball. Robbie Keane, the first one to put pressure on the French defence, and Glenn Whelan following it up with another challenge.
Which is actually Glenn Whelan's last act, because he's the man coming off to be replaced by Darren Gibson. He really has put in every last effort, every last ounce of effort, Glenn Whelan, and that's a fact acknowledged by the travelling Irish army.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a great qualifying campaign. He's had a very good evening tonight as well. Just wonder whether maybe he's carrying a slight injury. Big opportunity for Darren Gibson.
Well, if Damien Duff had been able to score, then maybe the French would have been all but killed off. They would have required 2 goals then. Here's Govou. As it is, they're still searching for their first on the night here, which would be enough, provided they could keep Ireland out at the other end. That's a foul. Diarra taking Keane's legs from under him.
Superb by Keane again, dropping in that space between France's back four and the midfield. He's won so many balls back for his side. He had an excellent game. Just when Ireland needed him to stand up, he's produced.
I saw Giovanni Trapattoni getting a word of counsel from Liam Brady, who himself scored a match winner for Ireland against France back in 1977. That goal from Robbie Keane will not on its own be good enough to see Ireland through to South Africa. If it stayed that way after extra time, it would take a penalty shootout to decide who was going to be on the plane to South Africa. But a second goal for the Irish tonight, and the picture would look altogether more rosy.
With all the noises coming from those Irish fans, they sense a famous victory. It's been an outstanding performance from the side. Can they go on and clinch a place at next year's World Cup?
Anelka. Now Lassana Diarra. Gourcuff to Sidney Govou. Look on by Gourcuff, almost broke for Govou, but St Ledger helped it away, and then Duff completed it. Here's Liam Lawrence. Looking for Kevin Doyle. Gallas meets it with a header. Here's Evra. O'Shea.
Just about sums up France's night. Evra and Henry on a different wavelength.
It's Andrews who's set the ball away, and Liam Lawrence here is onside. But in vain pursuit as it's turned out. There's another change here for Ireland. Paul McShane is going to come on and take the place of John O'Shea, and that clearly is an injury.
John O'Shea's another one who's had an excellent evening. And you could say that about the whole Irish side. It's a blow to lose him at this stage.
Oh, what a time to come on for Paul McShane, whom we last saw in club action, having something of a tantrum after his replacement by Hull at Burnley. But here on the international stage, one of the biggest international stages at the Stade de France, he comes on to replace poor John O'Shea, who's injured, with Ireland within sight of the best result in their international football history, no question about it. Lassana Diarra. Henry. Govou to Sagna. Sidney Govou again. Here's Anelka. This is Gourcuff. Sagna with the ball in. Cleared in the end by Gibson. Up to Doyle. Well won back by Doyle. Lassana Diarra battling with him for it. Robbie Keane has been keeping a personal count of the offences that he thinks Lassana Diarra has committed. He was furious again then, feeling that Doyle had been fouled by him. Here is Diarra. Now Evra. Gallas. Anelka up against Liam Lawrence.
Anelka turned there, he's looking for an option to play it into feet. All he could see was the backs of 3 or 4 French players. It's almost like they don't want the ball. That's something you don't expect from a France side.
Ball down the middle from Gibson. It's unsubtle, but it may work if Keane can get on the end of it. He just couldn't.
Just a little too straight. Decent effort from Gibson. Trying to get Robbie Keane away.
Now the French trying to get Bakary Sagna away, but it's got away from him. Stephen Hunt ensures that there'll be no quick throwing.
You sense the frustration amongst the crowd. Every misplaced pass, he's getting jeered.
Well, they've only lost one competitive match here, 3-2 against Russia 10 years ago in a Euro 2000 qualifier. And their only competitive loss on home soil since was to Scotland and James McFadden at the Parc des Princes 2 years ago. Ball over here to Henry, back to Gourcuff. What a block. Paul McShane only just on, really got his body in the way then.
Fantastic by Paul McShane. Henry got in behind the Irish defence one of the first times tonight. And when it fell back to Gourcuff, it was a magnificent block by Paul McShane. Threw his body in the way. Brilliant. And that's the challenge from Lawrence on A넬ka. This is that chance. Gourcuff, not sure it was going in. It may well have been going wide, but brilliant block by Paul McShane.
Only just on, but he had to make sure he was switched on pretty quickly. Now Gourcuff takes over from Henry as the free kick taker, as the French look to change their luck, and he hits it indirect, and that's well held.
Superb keeping by Shay Given. It's a fantastic delivery from Gourcuff. Any touch from either defender there, Keith Andrews, or one of the French attackers, and you expect that to hit the back of the net, but great hands by Shay Given.
Sanya. Now Lassana Diarra. This is Evra. A넬ka. Looking for Henry. St. Ledger having to go toe-to-toe with him.
St. Ledger hasn't put a foot wrong all night. Another brilliant tackle on Henry this time. He's been superb at the heart of the defence alongside Richard Dunn. France are just starting to have a bit more possession in this game. And Ireland on the back foot. The work rate's been phenomenal.
We're at the stage of the game now where France got their goal in Dublin. And there'll be no let-up here from the French to try and save themselves from embarrassment. Sanya. Good ball in, and A넬ka couldn't get his header on target, though.
Good skill from Sanya. Damien Duff went for the initial cross. And when the ball comes in, A넬ka's movement is superb. Couldn't direct the header, much like Kevin Doyle in the first half. Similar position, similar result.
Well, on too many occasions in Ireland's recent past, there have been hard luck, nearly but not quite stories where they've let things slip late on. But the more the frustration goes here for the French, then perhaps the possibility is increased of another Irish goal, which really would put the French under the cosh. Lawrence prodded it through. Keane! This is his chance! No! Just carried it too wide.
Well, what an opportunity for Robbie Keane. Lawrence's through ball. He skips past Gallas, he skips past Lloris. Perhaps his opportunity came when he went past Gallas. Now, shoot now. He doesn't, and just takes it too far past the goalkeeper. Now, shoot. He doesn't, and the chance goes begging.
That extra touch, just seeing the chance go away. Agonisingly close again for Ireland. And surely that would have been curtains for France, and they know it. What an achievement this will be for Giovanni Trapattoni. If Ireland can see it through, and Keane knows how close he was then to seeing it through.
And Trapattoni's come under some criticism at times for the style of play. But the tactics have been spot on, absolutely perfect. It's been a brilliant performance defensively, and they've attacked France as well. They've really taken the game to them. It's been superb.
French hanging on a bit. Kilban's throw. Schillaci. Now here's A넬ka. This is Evra. McShane coming in with the challenge. A bit of a reckless challenge, really, and it's a yellow card.
Yeah, he's always second favourite. Anelka's pace. Skip past McShane. It's a crunching tackle. Got a knock on his head for his troubles. Anelka lands heavily on him. It's a tough cookie, Paul McShane.
Can Ireland tough this out? Gorkov with the kick. Scalacci made a late run in front of the goalkeeper, but Shea given untroubled by that. And immediately setting Ireland on their way, and plenty of space here for Duff, who's made up plenty of ground. Into Keane, who thought the idea was to leave it for Gibson. He wasn't quite on the same wavelength.
Certainly the game's getting stretched now, gaps appearing. France pushing men forward.
Doyle. Kilban. Andrews. Duff. Away by Gallas. And a reminder of the Premier League action we've got to come for you this weekend. Liverpool against Manchester City is live. Make sure you're with us from noon for the start of the coverage. It's on Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Here at the Stade de France, Ireland are less than quarter of an hour away from taking the French to extra time. And then anything could happen.
Well, that's the least they deserve on the performance this evening. Been spirited, closed France down at every opportunity. They passed the ball well, something they didn't do on Saturday. Kept possession much better than at Croke Park. And a brilliant all-round performance.
Here's McShane, who's only come on as a substitute but has helped to play his part too. Slight worry for Ireland is that both the fullbacks are on yellow cards. Here's Duff. Nice little feint and turn, and then he buys the free kick out of Lassana Diarra.
It's uncharacteristic, but France have given the ball away so often in that central midfield area. And a tackle by Diarra on Duff. Opportunity for Ireland to put men forward.
Here goes Kilban. Can Ireland do the job without the need for extra time? Gorkov. Down the middle looking for Nicholas Anelka to get in here. Cleared by Richard Dunn, who stayed really strong there against him.
Superb by Richard Dunn. Great run by Anelka.
Here's Sanya. Gorkov. Lassana Diarra. Now Sidney Govou.
To be honest, Rob, Govou hasn't really added anything different than Gignac. Expect a substitute to make an impact. As we've alluded to before, someone of 35 million, Benzema, sat on the bench and just haven't seen him.
Here's Johan Gorkov to take the free kick. Imagine there's one or two anxious Irish fans now watching here and at home, fingernails being bitten to the edge. With a dispute going on, Scalacci had a little too much to say for himself and getting involved in things he shouldn't. He's now on a yellow card. Jan Gorkov with a kick. And cleared in the end by Gibson. Dealt with those really well so far, Ireland. France have posed no threat from free kicks or corners, really. Up goes Anelka. And now St Ledger. Lawrence aiming one long for Robbie Keane. Sanya. Lassana Diarra. Here's Gobu. Away by St Ledger.
With 10 minutes to go, this tie very much up in the air. No nearer knowing who's going to qualify for next year's World Cup. And I think if you'd have said to Trapattoni before the game, with 10 minutes to go, you're 1-0 up, would you take it? Would he ever?
Well, at the very least, Ireland deserves to take France the distance. They surely deserve even more for their performance here tonight. Here's Gobu. Now Bakary Sanya. And that clears Anelka and Henry, and for Ireland, that will do.
As you said, that France have posed no threat, really, from crosses, set pieces. Now Ireland's defending has just been magnificent. It's not been desperate. At times they've had to make a couple of last-ditch blocks, but really, France have been restricted to very few clear-cut opportunities. It's a testament to the lads at the back, Shay Given, and the rest of the side. Robbie Keane up front has worked so hard.
And Duff here looking for him. It's away by Gallas. Darren Gibson's the one following up here and finding Liam Lawrence, who holds it up well. Now McShane. Aim for Doyle. Keane chesting it down. Reminder, in case you weren't with us earlier, we wouldn't go straight to penalties at 90 minutes. Ireland would have another half an hour's extra time to get through first, if it goes that far. Back on his feet for a rap in the mouth.
You see the elbow of Anelka into St Ledger's face. I don't think there was any intent as he was trying to jump for the ball. His arms came up, caught St Ledger in the face. No malicious intent from Anelka.
Doyle winning it ahead of William Gallas, trying to play in Liam Lawrence here. Doyle blocked off and challenging by Sanya.
Getting Doyle in the air, causing France real problems. Gallas just hasn't been able to cope with it.
Here's Lassana Diarra. Anelka. Cross came Gibson. Clash between Gilban and Lassana Diarra, in which the Irishman gets the free kick, and the referee concerned about a bit of activity on the French bench.
That's been the story about Ireland. Whenever someone's been beaten, one of their teammates been there to help them out, get the second challenge and the third challenge. They haven't won the first one, someone's been there to win the second one.
Two tempers starting to fray behind his opposite number. Giovanni Trapattoni giving the impression of being very much in control here, as his team look to have been so far. But careless late lapses have cost Ireland before, so let's not be counting any chickens just yet.
Came within moments of a famous victory against Italy not so long ago. Cruelly denied late on. Let's hope that isn't the case tonight.
Away by Paul McShane. That will be Some achievement for Ireland if they get to the World Cup, having been in the same group and then a play-off with the World Cup finalists from last time around. Lost neither game against Italy. First leg advantage that France gained at Dublin has been eradicated here. Schillaci's header. Here's Alou Diarra. Now Henry. Lassana Diarra. Sidney Govou. Sagna. Here's Evra. Alou Diarra. It's Lassana Diarra. Pressure eased again.
Once again, two banks of four from Ireland. It's making it difficult for France to play through them. Just not been able to find any rhythm in this game. Passing has been poor. And we've become frustrated by a really dogged Ireland performance.
France, the World Cup finalists at two of the last three tournaments. Champions in 1998 at this very stadium. And here they are on the brink of being beaten at the scene of their greatest triumph by the Irish over 90 minutes, although the work will not end there for Ireland.
There's been a real lack of urgency from France. From the first minute, expected them at home to really go for it. They haven't done. It's been nothing like that.
Well, Benzema will be wondering even more now what he has to do to get a game here, because it looks as though the final substitution that France can make will be the arrival of Florent Malouda. Giovanni Trapattoni, I think, also has one substitution still left at his disposal. He's used Paul McShane and Darren Gibson. But Malouda getting ready to come on. Header on there by Anelka. Henry looking to get in, and McShane safety first.
And on Saturday, Trapattoni's substitutions didn't really have a huge impact on the game. And tonight, Paul McShane's made a couple of important blocks since coming on. Darren Gibson's shored up that midfield area. A very composed performance since coming on as substitute. And they've made a real difference.
Well, it's a French crowd that seems somewhat underwhelmed by the disappearance of Gourcuff. A bit of encouragement for Malouda now as he comes on. Benzema, a lonely figure, not having seen any of the action in either leg of this playoff. Malouda wanting to become involved straight away from the throw-in. Evra waiting and then picking him out. Cleared by Lawrence. Wallace came in, he's found Lassana Diarra, who brushed Robbie Keane aside. Lawrence hoping that he can just screen that one from Evra, who was pretty determined.
There's a conversation going on between Dominic and Thierry Henry. Not sure what it's about. Henry's looking a little bemused at the info he's getting.
Conversations between those two are scrutinised for every last word. Here's Damien Duff. Gibson was free to his right, but he found himself forced the other way by Alou Diarra. Here's Kilban. Good run from Gibson that in the end went to waste. Kilban looking for Robbie Keane. Away by Schillaci. Slapdash from Sagna, and here's Duff. Now Andrews. Gibson. Dunn. Ireland finishing the 90 minutes strongly. Gibson. Really would be a killer goal if Ireland got one now. Sagna's header. Sidney Govou. No foul. Here's Duff. Back to him by Kilban. Duff. Liam Lawrence. That's the throw-in.
It's good from Ireland, though, keeping the ball away from France. Good possession.
Final minute of the match. What a sting in the tail this would be. Kilban's long throw. Back to Robbie Keane, looking to make room for himself. Free kick, though, was given.
Not sure what for. Not sure either. Not to be too much wrong with that.
Here's Keane. Robbie Keane! 3 added minutes.
Diarra in midfield, giving the ball away again. It's the blind pass, Robbie Keane read it. Did everything right, but the shot.
Well, Keane twice and Damien Duff once have had sights of goal in the second half. They haven't been able to find the promised land, and still France are in this contest. Anelka finds Sidney Govou. Now not the time for the Irish to be making errors. Well, it was great defending again from Ireland. It was at some cost from Liam Lawrence, because he had to try and manoeuvre the referee out of the way to get to that ball, and the referee is going back towards Lawrence with a card here.
I think he'd booked Malouda for the challenge on Lawrence and the build-up to that incident. If anything, Malouda just slipped, lost his footing, couldn't stop. Lawrence certainly in a bit of pain, limping away from the challenge.
France looking to catch Ireland on the hop from a quick throw, but the referee having none of that. "90 seconds away now. Sanya's throw. Away by the head of Kevin Kilban. Trapattoni shows he hasn't lost it. There's Gibson. Now Gallas. Fighting for Lawrence, but Evra in the end takes it to safety for France. Alou Diarra, French looking for that killer ball, but in fact it was a ball that he managed to rescue from Malouda. And Evra, who is a big threat, looking from the cross for Henry, but Nelka's ball overhit.
Well, that was real danger for the Irish. The one's got stretched. Anelka, acres of space, puts over a really disappointing cross. It's the header from Trapattoni. Great skill.
Well, Raymond Dominic, whatever happens, you suspect there's going to be a man in the spotlight tomorrow. France have not covered themselves in glory, whether they qualify or not. Lassana Diarra, Kilban, Alou Diarra. Here's Nicolas Anelka. We're in stoppage time, past stoppage time now. Anelka patiently biding his time, looking for a way through. Could Malouda find one? Enforced around the outside by Lawrence. McShane was there, but Henry is quickest to react here for France. And Given gets a hand to it, and St Ledger does the wisest thing and gets plenty of distance on the clearance. That was a nervous moment for Ireland.
It was Anelka's pace down that left-hand side, caused the problems.
Looking for one final hurrah here, but still Ireland defend to the end, and they have defended to the end of the 90 minutes plus. World Cup finalists twice in the last 3 tournaments, but the French here have been beaten over 90 minutes by Ireland, but still the job is not done by Giovanni Trapattoni's side. There is extra time to see through, the possibility of an away goal or penalties. It's still anybody's this. France 0, Ireland 1, and 1-1 on aggregate with extra time to come. Nail-biting times indeed. How's your heart rate? Another half an hour to get through yet. That ticket for South Africa still tantalisingly there, but who's got most left in the tank? Gibson here looking to set Kevin Doyle away. Gallas hoping he's got enough in the tank to master the run of Kevin Doyle.
I think that's the key now. It's all about energy in this last 30 minutes. Ireland seemed to fade in the second period on Saturday. They were been superb throughout the 90 minutes tonight, and have they got another half an hour left just to grab themselves that dream of getting to the World Cup next year?
It's an extra half an hour for somebody on the pitch to step forward and make themselves a legend, which is surely not something that Raymond Domenech can be considered for France unless he, against all odds, survives through to next summer's World Cup and leads the French to victory. Certainly over here he's considered more from the Clouseau style of leadership than the de Gaulle style of leadership, and the only animated conversation he had really during the break between full-time and extra time was with his captain Thierry Henry. Although Trapattoni himself stayed away from the group, on the periphery, just the odd word with one or two individuals. The game plan and the talking has been done even before the first whistle has been blown.
I don't think there's much more you can say to the players now. They need no greater motivation than the prize that's at stake, and that's getting on that plane to South Africa.
It's done. Came back off Diarra. Here's Liam Lawrence. Given away by Robbie Keane. So a few needless concessions of possession so far, which is the true sign that fatigue is kicking in. Here's Malouda, who should be fresh, up against another substitute in Paul McShane. That's Andrews looking to set Robbie Keane away, but Morris's ball all the way.
That was a good idea by Andrews, and great movement from Robbie Keane. Just the execution of pass that let him down.
Here's Sanya. Now Malouda. Here's Lassana Diarra. Back by Ebra to Malouda. Now Anelka. He gets his shot away, and that was a worry.
It was a worry. Moved the ball to his right foot, shifted it. Decent strike. Shay Given had it covered. There were signs in that towards the end of the 90 minutes that France were showing their quality. Anelka and Henry involved heavily.
Robbie Keane here has come from an onside position, and he's found Liam Lawrence. And slid Alou Diarra.
Sign of the teamwork that Ireland have shown tonight. Liam Lawrence went down the right-hand side there, made the challenge, took a while to get back up, but Robbie Keane filled in until he got back in position. So important.
There's Doyle working tirelessly to get the better of Sebastian Schillaci. The defender did well. It's Malouda. Spread to Nicolas Anelka. Here's Malouda. Diarra. And moment of lapse from Patrice Evra.
He's had a decent enough game, Patrice Evra. He's really pushed forward at every opportunity. You see him doing it week in, week out for Man United. It's been the same tonight.
No one needs telling more than you, Matt, about the lottery of penalty shootouts. What about the prospect of that?
Cheers, Rob. Yeah, no, I mean, it'll definitely be going through the players' minds now. There's extra time. The end of it nears. Players will be thinking about penalties. And it is a lottery. It's who feels confident on the night. It's down to those players to take the responsibility.
But if they can just find another goal to add to the one that Robbie Keane has got already, then the issue of a penalty shootout would be academic. The minute we have another goal, we can't have a penalty shootout. Here's Gibson. Nice touch from Kilban. Nice challenge though. Here's Andrews. Nice layoff from Keane. It's a good build-up this from Ireland, but it broke down in the end off Damien Duff.
Yeah, good combination again between Robbie Keane and Damien Duff. Of course, it was those two that combined so well for that Robbie Keane goal. It's kept Ireland in contention in this tie.
Well, we thought they might be running on empty by now, but they're finding the extra energy from somewhere. Gibson, Lawrence, given away to Malouda. And here's Evra. It's Evra on the charge. Great defending. Andrews got back.
Well, that's exactly it. This time Evra gets past one or two challenges, then Richard Dunn, but Andrews comes to the rescue.
Andrews thought the last touch had come off Patrice Evra, but the corner is given. And Malouda takes it, and Schillaci thought that could have been his moment, but it was taken away from his head. And Sagna here is the last man back for France, wary of the closing Robbie Keane. A big boot downfield.
Does that count as a shot on target?
Surging run from Kevin Kilban, the kind he used to make in his former role on the left side of midfield for Ireland. And the break on here for Nicolas Anelka! He's taken down, is he, by Given? The referee has taken a long, long, hard look at it. And he's given the goal kick. He has given the goal kick, and should he have booked Anelka for a dive?
Anelka takes the ball past Shay Given. It looked from here as though it was a penalty. Seeing it close up, there was very little contact. And I think the referee, I said earlier, has had a magnificent game, got all the big decisions right, and I think he's got another one exactly spot on.
Well, it was a heart-stopping moment, that, for Ireland. They'd wanted a strong referee because they were fearful of the way that the seedings worked in this draw, that the so-called bigger teams were being favoured in the bid to get to South Africa. But that's a huge call, has benefited Ireland massively. Maybe just given them the impetus they need now to go on and win this in extra time. Ball in towards Keane, and they all left it.
It's a fantastic ball into the box by Kevin Kilban. Perfect, in between defence and goalkeeper. Really difficult to defend. Gallas is complaining that the lack of talking from his goalkeeper. Robbie Keane was lurking just behind him. If he'd realised that Gallas was going to leave it, he was going to have a simple task of making it two.
Here's Henry. Dunn getting back at him and defending stoutly. Gibson. Here's Doyle. Away by Sebastian Schillaci to Sidney Govou, and now Lassana Diarra. Tony frantically waving his arms around. Here's Anelka. It was tight for them in that corner, and McShane nicks it away, cleared by Richard Dunn.
Well, the way the first 10 minutes of extra time's gone, there's probably going to be no need for penalties. And chances at both ends. Both sides going for the kill. No question of sitting on it and what they've got and going for penalties now. Both sides look as though they're going for the win.
Here's Lassana Diarra. Lawrence is done. Headed away by Gallas, going straight to Damien Duff. Gallas coming in. Free kick given. And Malouda has taken it quickly. And he's picked out Sanya, who in turn finds Sidney Gobu. Anelka. Here's Malouda. This is Evra. And it's Sidney Gobu, but the flag was up anyway. It won't count. He was offside.
It looked tight. But he is just offside. The assistant referee gets it spot on. Henry doesn't think so. But he got it right again. It's back to the wall stuff here from Ireland. Can they hold out?
Well, fine margins, but the Swedish officials, in the face of public pressure, are staying very strong. Anelka thought he might have had a penalty. Gobu flagged offside. And the noise levels rise inside the Stade de France again. Maybe there's a little bit of confidence re-entering the air as we draw to the close of the first period of extra time. It's Malouda's kick in towards Schillaci, and Henry's in there to follow it in, and Gallas was there from close range, and suddenly the French are back in control. Tragic for Ireland, and Shay Given has raced across to the referee to appeal. And is he saying there that it might have been helped in even by a hand? That certainly seems to be the indication. Shay Given has gone right across to the linesman as if to indicate that Gallas might have helped that in with his hand.
Well, it's unbelievable. Ireland have been magnificent this evening. I said that the referee's got most of the big decisions right. There's certainly a feeling amongst the Irish players that it was handball. The ball comes into the box from Malouda. It looks like the French are offside. And then I think that's it. There, from Henry. I think he handles it. There. There's no question he handles it. It's unbelievable. And how the referee has not seen it. There's so many bodies in the way. But look at that. It's blatant from Thierry Henry.
Well, what's that they say about the luck of the Irish? It's out tonight. Well, it's Maradona in 1986 all over again, not with the actual attempt that carried it across the line, but in the build-up, a clear handball from Thierry Henry. And in the aftermath of the protests, Damien Duff was booked.
Well, I said I felt the goal was coming because both sides were going for it. I didn't expect one as controversial as that. France now look as though they're the team that's going to make it to the World Cup next year. But Ireland has still got a big say in this game. One more goal changes things again. And it'll be Ireland on away goals that go through. Can they do it?
Malouda, blocked by Liam Lawrence. Well, in some respects, to avoid a penalty shootout, it doesn't change what Ireland have to do, which is to get a second away goal, and they would still be set fair for South Africa. They may have lost their heads a little off the back of the way that goal has been scored, the way that goal has come about. Malouda with the ball in, cleared by Dunn. Here's Gobu, and we reach the turnaround, and Ireland will be sickened by that. A controversial goal, levelling on the night and putting France ahead on aggregate. Gallas the scorer, but Thierry Henry clearly handled it in the build-up. 1-1 now, 2-1 to the French on aggregate. Well, the Irish were stirred by anger after the first game and the unseemly spat at the end of it, and they need a positive reaction now to their anger at the goal that they've conceded. It was a clear handball by Thierry Henry, not the sort of advantage that you would have expected a player like him to seek, but Ireland need to get this game back within their own grasp, which they would do by scoring a goal, because then they'd have the second away goal, which would be good enough to take them to South Africa. The one definite we know is that there will be no penalty shootout tonight.
What Ireland have still got, though, is that substitution that Trapattoni can still make. And it looks like Aidan McGeady's stripped and ready to come on. I think that's a good change. Liam Lawrence has been superb, but I would imagine it'd be him that makes way. He's looked very tired in the last, certainly in extra time anyway.
Yellow card there for Sydney Gobu. And here comes that change Matt mentioned. It's going to be Liam Lawrence to come off. And Aidan McGeady, who's flickered on some of his international appearances without truly sparkling. Tonight could be the night. Alou Diarra. Here's Gobu. It's back off Kilban. It's the French who are finishing the stronger.
They are, but I wonder, you know, in central midfield, the two Diarras have been fairly poor. Whether Domenech regrets the decision not to include Patrick Vieira in his squad. I think his experience would have been invaluable. Still a terrific player. Can't believe that he wasn't in the original squad.
Malouda's corner, and Given has lost it. Cleared by Kilban to Lassana Diarra. Gallas has found Florent Malouda. Now Diarra. Away by Dunn.
Dan Gibson trying to block Malouda. Thierry Henry tackling himself.
Decision to exclude Patrick Vieira, reportedly the subject of some tension between Thierry Henry and Raymond Domenech. Nicolas Anelka, his goal in the first leg gave the French hope. And they've literally been given a helping hand in the second leg. There's Anelka. And that's a corner.
Rather than the ball going in the back of the net, probably the worst result. France, every time the ball goes out of play, taking their time. whittling the clock down. No rush to take any set piece.
Luda's corner, it swung in awkwardly and Given saw it late.
He did. Doyle ducked at the last moment and Given almost dropped it.
Well, Richard Dunn very often ends games like this up front, as he is doing now. Ball beyond him this time, cleared by Schillaci. One goal will do for Ireland, but at the moment it shows no signs of coming. Gobu looked to set Anelka away. And Shay Given's ball.
I think it's a good tactic putting Richard Dunn up front now. You know, just minutes on the clock. Everything to gain, nothing to lose.
And towards Dunn now, Loris makes a good, confident punch. To load as many men forward as they can possibly afford to, Ireland, at the risk of being caught at the other end, but it's a risk they have to take. Offside here, Thierry Henry.
Once again, Lloris coming out with a vital challenge, this time a punch up above Richard Dunn.
Two minutes left, 2 minutes of hope for Ireland. Dunn going in looking for the free kick. But as he's done pretty much all night, the goalkeeper took that confidently. The French didn't like the aggressive challenge of Richard Dunn.
There's very little contact. And as I said, France are doing everything to waste away any seconds left. Maurice just went down. Bought his side another 30 seconds.
Kilban. Now Anelka. There's Lassana Diarra. There's Anelka, leaned into that with his hand, surely.
And the referee didn't see it. It was the assistant referee whose flag raised the attention of the referee. Definite handball. I mean, football can be a really cruel game. Ireland have been superb throughout the game. I think it deserved to go through.
Final minute, all or nothing. Duff with a cross, McGeady with a header. Cleared by Lassana Diarra. Ireland frustrated in looking for this one last chance. Dunn wins the header this time. Doyle's in there too, but he cannot find a colleague. Henry with a header back. There's St Ledger. And Duff takes a tumble.
I think he's won a free kick. The crowd like it, but another opportunity for Ireland to throw everybody forward. Maybe even Shay Given.
There's one added minute, and even Shay Given, as you say, is coming forward for this. Because it is pretty much win or bust in this 1 minute. It's a kick from McGeady that Dunn somehow manages to rescue. It looked a disappointing kick, but Lloris, as he's done so reliably, just takes the pressure off.
Yeah, as you say, McGeady's free kick, not the best, but Richard Dunn made something of it. Desperately tried to get the ball into play. He did that, but Lloris has got a real spring in his step. Great goalkeeping. He's been magnificent.
Here's Anelka. Gobu's in the middle. Oh, that was the chance to sew it all up. And he spurned a golden opportunity.
Well, on the break, Anelka does really well. Pulls it back to Gobu. It's an awful finish.
Will they get one last chance, Ireland? Kilban tackled by Lassana Diarra. Raymond Dominic urging the referee to blow the final whistle. They think it should all be over, which strictly speaking it should, but time being added on for the time wasting now. Andrews, Ireland have been cheated out of a place at the World Cup. A handball from Thierry Henry in the build-up to the goal from William Gallas has ensured that some of the pressure has lifted off Raymond Dominic. but it's a hollow victory really for France over the two legs. Nicolas Anelka's goal in the first leg in the end made to count for something, but it's a sickening night for Ireland when in the end their luck was out. They played so well, they won the game over the 90 minutes with Robbie Keane's goal. Their efforts deserve more. They might have won it within the 90 minutes with efforts from Keane and from Damien Duff. But in the end, a goal from William Gallas that will leave a bitter taste in Irish mouths ensures that it will be France who are at South Africa. And golden streamers rain down from the sky here in the Stade de France in celebration of a hollow victory, would you say, Matt?
Yes, I would. I think Ireland have been denied what would have been a famous victory. I thought over the two legs they deserved to go through. Certainly tonight they've been the better side without any question. They had chances to double their advantage that Robbie Keane gave them in the first half, and really every single one of them can hold their heads well and truly high because they've been magnificent. They've given every ounce of energy and they really deserve much better.
Kevin, have you been cheated?
It feels like that. I've seen the replay of it, and you know, what can you say? It's not a hand down by the side or anything like that. It's an obvious handball. About the ref not seeing it, the linesman had a bit as good a view as anyone on the pitch. It's embarrassing seeing it afterwards.
Has Thierry Henry's reputation been tarnished by this? I mean, he's a gentleman in the sport. A lot of people admire him. He's a likeable guy. Has his reputation been damaged?
You know, it's just instinctive on his behalf. You know, if he can get away with it, but it's that obvious that I'm sure he expected the free straight away. You know, the referee's not far away. The linesman is looking straight across, and I'm sure he's just done it instinctively. You know, he doesn't think about that split second beforehand, and you know, should have been caught. You know, I don't blame him as much as how it's not seen, to be honest.
Florent, did the best team go through?
Yes, I think even if Ireland played very well tonight, we were a bit lucky. I would say very lucky tonight.
What do you mean by that? Why were you lucky?
Because I think Ireland had more opportunities, and our keeper made a really good save. Because if it was 2 or 3-0. We couldn't come back, so I would say, yeah, we were lucky, and especially with that late goal.
Were you lucky with that goal in the fact that the referee didn't see 2 handballs, or the linesman as well?
Yeah, we can say I didn't see because I was really far. I took the free kick, but I saw on the reaction of the players that there was a problem, but the referee didn't see it, and that's why I say we were lucky, and tonight we are happy because we're going to the World Cup, and we think about the Irish players.
If the referee asks after the linesman, I think I saw many games also when the replay they could also change their decision, but it's not. It's because I am happy for the French players. They play their game. We were superior them. Maybe was better we lose with penalty, and not like this.